Angle in the first. Watch out.
Look at this. Upton pops it up. Left side, Elvis Andrus is backpedaling. He is under it. He puts it away. The Texas Rangers have won a postseason series.
The Texas Rangers are American League champions. One swing.
It's tied!
Garcia. This is Taylor. He's at the wall, and the legend throws! It's the Texas Rangers win the World Series!
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live. Coming at you, Justin Foscue. Who else? Breaking up the Spencer Arrighetti no-no. My goodness. What do we got to do here, man, to just have consistent offense? I know Arrighetti's good. He 188 ERA, whatever it was, coming into this ball game. I know he's good, but on a no-hitter? Oh, that was brutal. Brutal, man. Through almost 8 innings. Rangers have had some opportunities. Osuna's had a nice game. Man, he hit the ball well. Osuna thought he had an RBI double for sure. That felt like one of those plays that was going to be the one you look back on. Like, this was the play where they saved the no-hitter, that diving catch to rob Alejandro Osuna. Man, I'm glad we don't have to see that one on repeat. Ridiculous. DeZenzo made a great play on that one for sure. I'm glad we finally got a base knock. Justin Foscue, make sure the Rangers at least have a number registered in the box score line. And we're going to have Andrew McCutchen coming in here to replace Jock Peterson. King, the lefty, coming out of the Astros bullpen. Let's see how this goes. You know, it's always interesting in these situations. It can sometimes escalate very, very quickly when a no-hitter finally is no more. We've seen it happen a lot. You have this guy dominating the entire game, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates open up. Very well could happen here. Wouldn't shock me in the slightest. McCutchen with a big opportunity here. How about a nice bomb into the Crawford boxes? Into the Crawford box, man. That'd be phenomenal. Kutch takes strike one. Sends one deep. This is maybe going to get Osuna to third base. He's not even going to attempt it. And they don't show the throw on RSN. It's up to Zeke Duran, man. 2 outs. Looked like Kutch got a decent pitch to hit, man. That was 92 right out over the plate. That looked good, man. He got 2 pretty manageable pitches, 2 four-seamers. 1 middle in, 1 right over the heart of the plate. You'd love for Kutch to have a little bit of a better swing on both of those. He took the first one, man. Second one was right there. You go back and look at it. Come on, Zeke. Let's go, baby. JK89. Yeah, I think we're all eating crow with Danny Jansen. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. Justin, so embarrassing, baby. What is he doing? What is he doing? I love how they were standing there, like him and Janko. I mean, God bless Travis Jankowski. I mean, I don't think you can blame the coach in that spot. Maybe he could have done something better. It's on the base runner, man. I just love though how him and Janko are sitting there like thinking maybe it was safe. Dude, you got tagged on the freaking hand. You knew you were out. Don't even look at that monitor, bro. Come on. What are you doing? That couldn't have been more clearly out. You just maybe are saving some face there. Like, yeah, let's look at the video board. Yeah, maybe it's safe. Come on, man. That is brutal. I mean, look, Zeke Duran has been a really good hitter for us this year. You would love to see the bat in his hands with an opportunity. Look, it's very possible he gets out and it's still 1-0 anyways. But nevertheless, the only thing I like, and it is not much, the only thing I like is you at least have Duran, Nimmo, Young coming up next in the top of the ninth. That's about the only silver lining here. You've got a good leadoff, and you've got two guys with pop behind him. Hey, that's the silver lining, because that was dog crap terrible. What's so frustrating is it's within the last week, man. We just had Haggerty get picked off in late innings. I never really blame first base coaches when guys get picked off. I just think it is really being nitpicky. However, you guys have heard me say this before. When you're getting picked off of first base, when you're kicking the ball around, when you're not doing the little things right, and it's consistent, it is hard for me to not think about coaching in general. It just is. I don't blame Travis Jankowski for Justin Foscue getting picked off there. Foscue's got to pull his head out of his butt, man. That is a huge spot. You just do not get picked off in that place. I mean, you're not even the tying run. I get trying to get a lead there. I really do. Dude, you're not even the tying run. You got a guy in front of you. I mean, look, yeah, if Zeke gaps one, you want to be able to score, but come on now. Foscue absolutely needs to do better. Dude was napping. That's all you can say. Janko can yell at him, get back, get back, get back. Dude, you can't wander 15 feet off the base. Colts fans ready to send Foscue down after that one. Look, knee-jerk reaction, emotional in the moment. I have the same thoughts. The Rangers, we talked about this, they just do not have a lot of options. Cody Freeman did play in an Arizona game, I think last night. Don't know how he did. If any of y'all have the Cody Freeman update, I did not check out his line. I would love to know it. Maybe I can look it up as we go here, as Cole Winn is going to get Bryce Matthews called out on strikes here. 1 out for the Astros in the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, there's just not a lot of options until Cody Freeman is healthy. When Cody Freeman is healthy, I mean, you can make some justifications here. I think Haggerty probably is going to still be on the chopping block before Foscue. And I do think you've got to make some allotment for error, but that is just bad, man. That's just bad. I mean, look, Foscue had, of course, the running into Corey Seager play, whatever you want to call that circus. He's had a couple of bad moments. I mean, he's had a couple of really fun moments too. I do think a little bit of this is growing pains. I'm not trying to make excuses. I think y'all know better. You know me better by this point in time. I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, but I do imagine, some of this is just growing pains. Hasn't played a lot of ball up at the big league level. Maybe you can get away with that stuff down at AAA. Maybe you can. Dude, you're not going to be able to get away with that on a major league catcher, bro. You're just not. Not good here as Cole Winn walks Paredes. He swung a pretty good bat today. You still don't like to walk a guy with 1 out here. Come on, man. Get some soft contact. Make him hit it. I don't know what that hit, man. That's weird. It definitely had the sound of hitting something now that I'm looking at the replay. I think it might have hit the bat. That's weird. That was really weird. That looked like the bat, man. And we burned the challenge on the Berger ground ball. Bad throw, kind of maybe potentially pulled Christian Walker off the base. So are you that to me is definitely looming large. You lose that challenge. You got another one. I don't know. That's an odd one. It did look like it was the knob. It really did. That is a weird one for sure. All right, here we go. Alvarez up to bat. Not exactly the guy that you want to see up for Cole Winn right now. By the way, I think this is where Cole Winn made his major league debut. Feels like it was. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Winn is going to check over on the runner at first here. Yeah, so you lose the challenge, right? I'm just reading up on this, y'all. All the different challenges and stuff. I got to keep it straight. Alvarez is going to serve one into center field. So first and second here, one out. Double play ball in order. No panic here, but Wynn's got to lock in. Got to lock in. You burn the challenge on the Christian Walker play where he maybe comes off the bag. So you don't have the challenge available to look at whether or not the knob was hit. Now, in the late innings, you can ask a crew chief to review it from the 8th inning on. It's weird that Skip didn't even come out there and ask for a crew chief review. You can go out and you can ask for crew chief review 8th inning on. It's weird to me knowing that he didn't have a challenge. Skip doesn't even go out and ask about that one. I don't know what the replay team was doing. Were they asleep? I have no clue. Feels odd to me that you don't at least go out there if you're Skip and talk to the home plate ump and see if you can get a potential crew chief challenge initiated, or crew chief review, I should say. It did feel like it was a little lost there. Carson, full disclosure, my guy, I saw it in real time and it looked like it was worth it. You know, I got a couple little ones running around at home and I didn't get a good look at it. What's your thoughts on it, my guy? Was that one worth challenging? I got to admit to you guys, I saw the play in real time. The little ones were probably clawing at my leg or something, just wasn't able to watch the replay all the way through. Was that legit? Was that worth wasting a challenge on? And I know we say wasting, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Let me know what you thought of that challenge, Skip, challenging whether Christian Walker was off the bag or not. You guys tell me. I do think JK makes a good point. Like, that to me is growing pain stuff with Skip Schumacher. You've got to go out to home plate and ask about that one. Hey, man, we got knob. Can we do a little crew chief review here? Hey, that was knob. You can at least let him know. You can convince him a little bit. All right, we got to strike him out. And look, we don't have an advancement from first to second there. First base occupied. So we're going to have 2 down here, although runner does advance to third from second. Nice pitch by Cole Winn here. Not sure what happened with Higgy. Looked like it nicked off the glove. Foscue broke the no-hitter, so don't send him down. I don't think they're going to send him down on one play. I know that is like the knee-jerk, man. They're not going to send Foscue down, but he might be in the doghouse. I mean, that's very possible at this point. Might be in the doghouse. All right. Cole Winn is going to throw ball 1 here. He has retired Christian Walker. Also was able to get Bryce Matthews called out on strikes. So we're potentially looking at striking out the side. That's the glass half full. As Gavin Collier throws in the bullpen. Pitch number 2 is a foul ball. Slider back door. Pretty hard hit. 90 miles an hour off the bat on that one. Now Duran. Duran leading off, Ethan. Remember, Foscue gets picked off. Duran leading off. If we get no hit through almost 8 against the Astros, are we that bad? Oh, Cole Winn. Cole Winn, baby. Not cool, bro. Not cool. And I love Cole Winn. Man, Mike Baxick really dropping a gem there, not in a good way. You got a 2-0 count for Zeke Duran, and Foscue gets picked off on a 2-0 count. That is brutal. 2-0 count. You've got King on the ropes a little bit, one of your hotter hitters up. Cole Winn in that AB, by the way, you throw the cutter up high. Not my favorite pitch right there. I can't imagine they're trying to go high cutter. I mean, maybe high cheddar. Yeah, I could get throwing the four-seamer up high like that. I don't understand throwing your off speed. The cutter obviously still thrown pretty hard, but I don't understand the placement there. Can't imagine he's trying to throw that ball elevated. You throwing that cutter, you want to get that in on the hands. You want to get that low on the sides, away. I can't imagine he's trying to catch a lot of plate up with the cutter. Cole Winn, look, over his last little bit here, let's look it up and see what we're working with. Over his last 7 games, Cole Winn has a 5+ ERA. And that obviously is updated for tonight's game, but over his last 7 games, Cole Winn probably been one of your least reliable arms out there. And this is coming from a guy that loves Cole Winn. Think he's a great dude. Think he's got potential, man. I really do. But he is not in a good place right now. 5+ ERA in his last 7 ball games. Look, Jake makes a good point. Either way, you have got to make sure that we keep it a buck when it comes to where the blame goes in this game. Offense scored 0 so far. I mean, Jake, you nail it on this one. Offense has got to have the blame. I know we're going to nitpick Cole Winn. We can nitpick little plays here and there, but this is all in the offense tonight. By the way, let me talk this through. We didn't really comment on it in real time. Sometimes it just takes me a second to process, but, that was not good by Higgy. Higgy not able to glove that strikeout. What was really peculiar to me as Cole Winn gets the strikeout here, did anybody understand why we didn't backpick Jordan on that play? Did anybody say that and I just missed it, by the way? Why on earth, if you're Higgy, did you hold that ball? So not only do you not glove it, which Higgy should have gloved that strikeout, why on earth are you not backpicking Alvarez, who was just standing 15 feet off the base? Did anybody else see that? Did anybody else think that same thing? I need a moment sometimes to process things. Like, why didn't we backpick Jordan Alvarez on that play? That makes no sense. Makes no sense. Higgy just kind of a double whammy there. Not only do you not catch the Christian Walker strikeout pitch, Jordan is standing about 15 feet off the base, and you don't even throw it down. The runner on third want to run home? Absolutely not. Alan, the runner had barely made it to third base. You're not going to run home on that play. And so what if you do? If he runs home, you can always throw it home. Alan, that's not a good excuse. First base, that's nothing, buddy. Higgy fires it down to first base. Even if the runner breaks home, you can easily throw it right back home and get that runner in a rundown, man. These are major league guys throwing bullets all over the diamond. Everybody looked a bit confused on that play, 100%. Everybody did. This is another game where, Ethan, I'm actually kind of with you. I like what we've got coming up here in the bottom half. Look, your magic doesn't always connect at the perfect times, but I 100% feel like the Rangers could put something together here. They're going to need a big hit, but we know that this team definitely generates traffic late in ball games. I would really, really like to see a little rally here myself, 100%. First pitch, sweeper, right over the heart of the plate. Imagine Duran probably not looking for that pitch in this spot, but that was a hung sweeper, baby. Just a hung sweeper for Duran. Zeke 0 for 3 with 2 Ks tonight, by the way. And he's going to go down quickly 0-2. Yeah, good timeout. 100% a good timeout. Yeah, we got to keep it real here. Jack Leiter, got to give that man a lot of props. Lights kind of like Rocker, but much, much better. Lights definitely has not quite figured it out on the road yet. We know that he's about a run worse on the road over the course of his career. Zeke Duran, by the way, going to get called out on strikes. That sucks, man. That sucks. Why wouldn't you challenge that, though? What are we doing? Why are we not challenging? Why are we not challenging? Oh, y'all, the reaction was delayed because I figured surely we don't have any challenges left. What are we doing there? That's clear off the plate. Man, these are mental errors, and I know that there's an adjustment with the ABS. I do understand it. I really do. There's zero reason when you hear the strike 3 call, there's no reason not to burn a challenge there. You have 2. You have 2 challenges left. Even if you lose, you still have 1 remaining. That is bad from Zeke. So we've got 2 mental errors, back-to-back innings, 2 mental errors that potentially are going to cost the Rangers this game. Foscue getting picked off. I'll throw in 3. You've got Foscue getting picked off. You've got Higgy doing nothing with that strikeout of Christian Walker. Could have backpicked Alvarez. You had so much here in front of you in these last innings. And the Rangers are kind of letting it get away. Zeke Duran not challenging that pitch is terrible with 2 challenges. I don't even understand it if you only have 1 left. I 1,000% don't get it when you've got 2 challenges left, baby. You've got 2 challenges left. I'm sorry, y'all. I am incredulous right now. Great play, man. Outstanding play by Nick Allen. Nimmo almost legged that one out. Just an outstanding play. Christian Walker, man, one of the defensive MVPs for the Astros. I have been waiting for him to cough up one of these scoops. Christian Walker has made every scoop at first base. I mean, I hate to say it, but respect to him, man. That he's been making scoop after scoop down there. What is this home plate ump doing? Do we have a dinner date to go to? What are we doing here? This dude is terrible. Dude, look up at the look. Is that 2 feet off the plate? Oh, they don't even show us how far off it was. That's how bad the call was. We don't even get a freaking measurement on that one. That's how dog crap terrible that call was. Oh my goodness. Wow. They didn't even give us the measurement. That had to have been at least a foot. At least a foot inside. That was bad. Culpa is the new Hernandez. Guillermo, you might be onto something there, my guy. All right, we're down to our final strike here, Rangers fans. And it's very unfortunate. What an anomaly of a team. Rangers are going to drop this game. Young puts it in play. He's going to ground out. Third base. Flips it over to first. Christian Walker makes it. And that is ball game. What an anomaly. This team is such an anomaly, man. Like, maybe that's not the best word, but just an enigma. That's a better word. This team is a freaking enigma, man. You have all this momentum from last game. I know you had the off day. Maybe the off day works against them. You have all this momentum from coming back in the 9th inning of the game on Wednesday. You have Thursday off, silver boot. You got plenty of juice coming into the series. What more do you need? It's Astros Rangers. And you just come out totally flat. I get Arrighetti is good. No one's denying that. No one is not giving him credit. The man's been great this year so far. You guys know what I'm going to say. I hope you got to beat good pitching. I don't want to continue to hear the excuses about, hey, it was just a great pitcher. Dude, what do you think you've got to face in October? Good pitching. You've got to beat good pitching eventually. I'm not going to sit around here and excuse them because they ran into a good arm tonight. I can't keep doing this. We do this every dang time they lose to a good pitcher. Well, he's a good pitcher. What do you think we're facing in the postseason? If you think the Rangers, or if you want the Rangers to get there. If you're not going to beat good pitching in the regular season, it's really hard for me to think that it's going to somehow be able to flip on in October. Arrighetti is good, no doubt. The dude's good. He is. He's not unhittable. He's not unhittable, y'all. Frustrating loss, especially how you lose it late. You know, you've got first and second. You've got Duran up a 2-0 count, and you get back-picked. Justin Foscue, just boneheaded play. Kyle Higashioka can't glove a Christian Walker strikeout. Alvarez 15 feet off the base, and a little confusion. Higgy doesn't even throw it down. That's another play. And then you've got Ezekiel Duran on an 0-2 pitch that's clearly off the plate, not even using a challenge. A lot of these are mental mistakes, and I've said this to you guys so many times. And I'm not saying Skip is not the guy, but I have to go back to coaching when you're making mental mistakes frequently. Shoot, even if you're making physical errors. A team that makes a lot of physical and mental errors, I'm sorry, it is tough for me, not on a play-by-play basis, but on a wide lens, a wide frame view. It is really hard for me to not think about coaching. It's super hard for me. I can't even avoid the thought. Again, we're not going in a vacuum here. You know, the Foscue back pick, that's Travis Jankowski being a bad coach. Absolutely not. Again, it's not one individual play, but when you stack up all of these mental, all these mental errors, it's like, it's just hard for me. Getting picked off, in my opinion, is a mental mistake. Like, you can avoid getting picked off. You know, that move, that play, again, by the Astros catcher. I mean, look, it's a good throw. It's a good throw, but you should never get back picked. Ever. Especially not in that case when you're not even the lead runner. That's Foscue assuming, well, they're not paying attention to me. I'll get a big lead, and they're not going to throw down here. Yeah, they are. Pick your butt right off, dude. That is by the way, I mean, look, I coached high school. I've coached pretty much every level, I feel like. I haven't coached in a little while since I started picking this up. But, man, the Astros, I don't like to do this, but that's a beautiful play call. That's one of my favorite play calls as a coach. You've got first and second. The runner on first base is being a freaking space cadet. And you see them getting this big lead because they think, hey, I'm not the lead runner and nobody's really holding me on great, so I can get off this base even more. And you just lull them to sleep. It's one of my favorite play calls. Astros were brilliant in that moment. I'm not going to go on and on about it, but that's like, again, very textbook from the Stros. You're just lulling that runner at first base who doesn't think you're paying attention to him to sleep, and then you're throwing it right over there on a line. Done. Can't understand why we can't have both halves of the team playing at the same level at the same time. It does feel like it's like if it's not one thing, it's the other. Look, if it's going well with the bats, it's not going well with the defense. If it's going well with the defense, the pitching isn't great. It's like the Rangers do have trouble putting together a complete game. It is one game. So you know what? I've told myself, and I gotta do a little real confession with y'all. I feel like this season, because of the 24 and 25 seasons, totally transparent with you guys right now, I've been a lot more reactive this year than usual. I'm very, very in my feelings about 2024 and 2025, and I'm not even going to lie about it. And so every loss this year just reminds me of the futility of 24 and 25. And it just is so frustrating to me when you see the same things that happened last year and the year before rear its ugly head again. And so what I want to try and do tonight, which is so hard considering what unfolded in the 8th and 9th innings, the mental mistakes, I want to try not to overreact to this game. Try so hard. I don't think I'm doing a very good job right now anyways. Look, I could totally see this team winning Saturday and Sunday. They've got, they've got DeGrom and probably Eovaldi throwing Saturday, Sunday. Let's not go sky is falling mode tonight. They've got a very good chance to win Saturday and Sunday. I think we all know this. And you know what? The bats could easily look really good tomorrow and Sunday. Houston does not have good pitching, man. They do not. They did tonight. Arrighetti's their best pitcher. He's literally one of the very few bright spots for Houston this season. And I think Stros fans would tell you that. I've got a few buddies that literally told me the same thing coming into the series. I don't watch every Houston Astros game, but multiple of them said, we might get Friday. Arrighetti's been really, really good. I don't think who they have in store for us Saturday, Sunday is anywhere near the same caliber. I do very much think the Rangers can win tomorrow and Sunday. That being said, absolutely, you got to score. You got to score to win games. Pitching was real good. I feel bad for Cole Winn. Cole clearly comes into the ball game, and you want to keep it at 1-0. Cole has not been great over his last 7 games, 5+ ERA. I just feel like that gets really hyper-focused on in a game where your offense is giving you no margin for error, but we got to keep this focused on the offense. And, Corey Seager's out. Corey's a presence, but he's not been hitting well. I really can't say confidently that Siegs in this lineup makes a big difference tonight. I think he probably would have struggled with Arrighetti as well, if I'm being totally honest. And one hit tonight, Justin Foscue, your only hit. It's just wild. Ethan, I hope you're right. I don't think that's going to happen, but I hope to be wrong. I could maybe see one. I'm not sure I'm seeing multi-home run from Seager in this series in only 2 games. Houston is a right-handed lineup. We have the pitching advantage. Beyond that, not much. Let me go back. Should have been a sweep. I said this. Saxy Phil, what's good, man? I said this actually going into the evening on Wednesday night after the big comeback. It is very hard to sweep a team. I never get, a butt hurt when we don't sweep somebody. It's very hard to sweep. Just win 2 out of 3. I don't even when we go into the Rockies series, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. I mean, look, we can agree to disagree on this. I do think on paper, yeah, you should beat the Rockies 3 times in a row. You're a better team than them. But baseball is a beautiful sport in that on any given night, you can lose. The Dodgers can lose on any given night. So I don't really ever get upset about not sweeping. I know that some fans do. I had, zero expectation of a sweep coming into this game. I thought 2 out of 3. And I think that's very respectable on the road against a rival. And you know what? I always love winning the first game of a series. Had they won tonight, I would have felt pretty good about a sweep. But I think at this point, you stay the course, and hopefully the Rangers win the next 2. They could lose 1-0 with DeGrom and Eovaldi, but Curtis, the Astros don't have very good pitching coming up here the next 2 nights. I get what all y'all are saying about the runs. I just don't think the Stros have good enough pitching Saturday, Sunday to keep this up. Arrighetti's exceptional. We got to remind everybody, Arrighetti came into this game with a 188 ERA. A 188 ERA, y'all. Come on now. This guy was definitely working really, really well this season. He's had a lot going positively for him. This wasn't a guy who's, running into some good luck or good fortune. He's been shoving. Arrighetti has been one of the very few bright spots for Houston this season. So that's why I'm sitting here kind of as I decompress from this ball game, very frustrating, trying to pump the brakes. Stros do not have good pitching lined up for Saturday, Sunday. Remember, the Astros have the worst ERA in the big leagues. It might have crawled up to 28th or 29th after Arrighetti's performance today. Astros came into this game with the worst ERA in the big leagues. I do not feel like this keeps up for the Rangers offense. I don't feel like they're going to get shut out Saturday, Sunday. Look, I'll knock on wood, but I would tell you, I would keep it totally straight with y'all if I felt differently. This is not me gassing anything up, sugarcoating it. The Astros do not have another Spencer Arrighetti on Saturday or on Sunday for us. They don't. We keep rolling. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. Justin, thanks for liking the live, my guy. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, the Rangers definitely are not the best offensive team. I don't think anybody's denying that. I don't think anybody is trying to tell you otherwise. I do think the Rangers can scrape across some runs Saturday and Sunday. Maybe the Seager reset will be helpful. I thought that they were going to give him Wednesday off. I did say the only other alternative feels like Friday. I thought Skip would probably want to give him the 2-day combo in tandem with the off day on Thursday. And so I thought either Wednesday or Friday was going to be the off day. Sure enough, it was tonight. Takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails when you're approaching a rivalry series like this. I would have probably preferred that they have done it on Wednesday, but you know what? It is what it is at this point. Can't go back and change it. I do think that the reset is hopefully going to be helpful. It's been for Berger. It's been for Young when they've done these resets with players. Hopefully Skip pushing the right buttons when it comes to the day that Corey Seager was benched, which ended up being today. Hopefully it kickstarts him into a really positive trajectory of offense because it has been bad. Corey Seager has to produce if the Rangers are going to sustain long-term success. Short-term, sure. I think that the bottom of the order can have some nice games, and in the short term, you're going to win. But I do think over 162, if Corey Seager is not at the level that you need him to be, it's going to be really tough to sustain wins and sustain success. We keep on going. I guess ownership is just going to sit around and hope that Veely sheds his skin and becomes a half-decent hitting coach. Hey, look, we've said this just so you guys know. I know we get some new people coming in. Tonight doesn't feel like a night to go all in on Veely, but I'll say this. Veely getting fired would feel good temporarily for a number of fans. I think a majority of fans would probably be like, you know what? The Veely firing needed to happen, and maybe there would be that glass half full optimism. Maybe a new voice fixes this. But we all read this book last year. We read this story last year. We saw this movie last year. Whatever expression you want to throw in there. When we fired Donnie Ecker, there was a marginal improvement. I don't see anything else but that, or literally a maintaining happening when you fire Veely. The Rangers should have fired Veely in the offseason and started fresh. There was no reason you needed to have this built-in scapegoat, a holdover from 2025 and how bad the offense was. I don't understand at all how you look at 2025 and you decide to keep Veely around. That it just doesn't make philosophical sense to me. And by the way, Veely was always kind of a pairing with Donnie Ecker. Donnie Ecker and Justin Veely were a team in San Francisco. When Donnie Ecker left to come to Texas, Veely stayed in San Francisco, and it didn't go well. Then at the beginning of 2025, they decide to hire Veely onto the Rangers staff to pair once again with Donnie Ecker. So I think that the trend has kind of been Veely really can't hold while he's not with Donnie. And so I don't really understand why they kept him. I think they should have just started totally fresh, but they didn't. And so you've got a lot of fans blaming Veely again. I'd like to see them start brand new in 2026. They may fire Justin Veely before the end of the year. I kind of doubt it because they did it last year and it didn't do anything. But it would shock me if he comes back for 27, especially if the offensive trends continue here. All right, let's keep rolling. Appreciate you guys. Dual hitting coach idea has ran its course. JK, never was a fan. I actually put out a video on that. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't love all the different voices hitting-wise in a dugout. Look, you've already got all these guys with personal swing doctors. Corey Seager's one of them. Corey Seager, man, the swing doc is who he listens to almost exclusively, and occasionally he gets the input from Veely and some of the other offensive minds on the Rangers. But a lot of these guys, they're not even really primarily listening to Veely. There's a couple of guys, like I think Josh Young is pretty locked in on Veely at this point, and Jock Peterson is another guy who I think has spent a lot of time with Veely too. I mean, look, one of those guys is obviously having some success this year. Jock Peterson, not really, 210, 652 OPS. I'd love to see them simplify. Dude, you only need one or two guys. You don't need, a hitting coach, an offensive coordinator, an assistant hitting coach. You've got like 3 or 4 guys, dude. You don't need that many. I don't think you need that many voices personally, but it is kind of a trend right now in baseball. So you know what? It is what it is. Bring back Jaramillo. Rudy Jaramillo, baby. I haven't thought about him in a while, Justin. That's great. That is great. Yeah, look, this is actually a point I wanted to bring up. JD, what's good, man? Leading off Jock Peterson. It worked great for 1AB. Has Jock gotten a hit as leadoff hitter since then? I know he did have a really nice first AB. I think he went 8 or 9 pitches maybe. But I don't think he's gotten a hit since then. I think that home run was basically the one positive. If you want to count the walks as a positive, sure. But can't really say that Jock at leadoff has done a whole lot except for that home run. Yeah, Ethan, I'm not, you know this, buddy. I'm not an advanced stats coper, man. There are a number of Rangers fans that I see really clinging to the hard hit data and all that stuff. You guys know. I mean, I do that a little bit here and there, but the hard hit cope, man, I'm not there. I'm just not. I'm a results guy as well. If a guy is, going through a little skid, yeah, I think you can look at the advanced stats. You can look at Baseball Savant. You can say, hey, man, he's going through a little 0 for 12 skid, but dude's still hitting the ball 95 plus. On most contacted baseball. So, yeah, if you're in the middle, though, of like a 0 for 25 like Corey Seager, there comes a time where I'm done looking at advanced stats. Dude, you got to get a freaking hit. I mean, seriously, you got to get on base, buddy. I can't sit here and cope with your Baseball Savant page every single night. You got to get on base. Seriously. Astros going to get hot sooner or later. I mean, that's what y'all hope. That's what Astros fans are hoping for, but I can't see it. I think that's an overreaction to one game where you had your best pitcher on the mound. I don't think the Astros are a very good baseball team. I mean, I understand that they've had a long track record of success. I don't think the Stros are a very good baseball team. They don't have good pitching. They had their best pitcher on the mound today. I wouldn't overreact to this one. They win the series tomorrow. Maybe I'm singing a little bit of a different tune, but this is not a great team. Rangers, whether they lose tomorrow or not, it's not going to change my mind. I don't think the Astros are a great ball club right now. I don't see them going on some crazy run. Look, we'll see. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, man, but I'm not seeing it right now. Clearly got a little bias. But I don't think a lot of people around baseball are thinking that the Astros are going to start going on some tear. We keep rolling. Mickey Moniak, Ethan, I'm not for that, man. I'm not on that page. I want the Rangers to actually make like a splash move. I really don't want to see little dinker moves. I mean, that's what I would consider the Moniak move. I know he's hitting 308 with 12 homers. I mean, look, the dude's had some good years. I'm not trying to get a flash in the pan guy. I'm really not. That's just me. Dude's a career 250 hitter with a 750 career OPS. They need to go get somebody that has proven it a little bit longer. I mean, for me, you look at last year, I know he hit 270. I'm not moved by Mickey Moniak. I'm really not. And they don't have room for him really in the outfield. You've got Wyatt Langford. You've got Evan Carter. You've got Brandon Nimmo. Rangers need to improve in the infield. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the benefit in going out and getting an outfielder right now. You've already got Alejandro Osuna. Moniak doesn't make really any sense to me. If you're going to go trade for somebody, you've got to improve the infield. You can't spend trade capital on outfield. You've already got a bunch of outfielders. You're probably going to convert Sebastian Walcott to outfield. Like, I don't see any benefit to going to get Moniak. I hear you on, like, the potential. It's just like you would much rather improve second base or first base. You would much rather attend to one of those positions than create a logjam in the outfield. Like Moniak, Osuna, I'd honestly rather roll with Osuna at this point. I think the Rangers are fine in the outfield, especially when Wyatt comes back. I don't think Wyatt is going to continue to be as bad as he was to start this season. I think he comes back and finds a stride. Maybe not right away because of all the time he's missed, but Rangers don't need to create any more of a logjam in the outfield unless you're going to trade somebody in the outfield, unless you're going to deal Evan Carter or, you're going to deal Wyatt Langford, which I don't think they're going to do either one of those, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe they will, but I think you got to go improve that infield. Got to improve the right side of that infield. Love what Berger did over the past couple of nights. Look, I love Duran, and I don't think getting a second base upgrade means that Duran is no longer playable. I think you can play Duran anywhere. You can literally play Duran anywhere. He can play first base, second base, shortstop, third base, and pretty much any outfield position. So I'm not worried about upgrading second base or first base. And where's Duran going to play? Everywhere. I mean, dude can go to pretty much any position and be successful. Let's see. Given the history of Brewers trading players, can we try and snag Bryce Terang? That's an interesting option for me. Terang is definitely a guy that I would be at least thinking about. You got to see how he does over the next couple of months. But right now, Terang, 297, 6 homers, 27 RBI. I'd have to look at the advanced stats to make a final call, but Terang is definitely someone that I think the Rangers should have their eye on, right? He's a second baseman. He would definitely, I think, fix some of the issues you have on the right side of the infield. That is more what I'm talking about. I mean, I think you have got to improve the right side of the infield. You can still keep Berger. I mean, Berger could still be a guy that you mix in there. I mean, Berger could still be a guy that you throw in against lefties, and you could DH Berger as well. I mean, look, the baseball savant page for Bryce Terang is off the freaking charts. Like, there is literally one category. There's 2 categories that are not blazing red for Bryce Terang when it comes to batting. Bat speed and his K percentage is like league average. Everything else is like blazing red. And this is literally the perfect player for Skip Schumacher. He's got an elite walk rate. He doesn't swing and miss. He doesn't chase. He hits the ball hard. He hits line drives. Bryce Terang, I think, is probably the guy. I mean, he's got to be at the top of your wish list. I don't know of any other player. This is a beautiful baseball savant page right now. That's if our GM would ever trade for a hitter. True that, man. We've joked about it on the show. See why? He's going to find a way to go get another ace at the trade deadline, isn't he? CJ Abrams, that's another one. I'll look at CJ right now. We'll see what CJ's up to. Look, CJ definitely not as attractive as Terang. You're going to probably have to pay a premium to get Terang with how good he is looking so far. But look, CJ Abrams, 912 OPS. .291 average. Definitely does a good job barreling up the baseball. He does swing and miss a little too much for me. I don't love the swing and miss. Dude is fast on the base paths. He is not good defensively, though. Not sure we want to add C.J. Abrams. By the way, Bryce Terang was pretty much league average. League average arm strength, league average outs above. So for me, I definitely think at this point, if you're trying to improve second base, Bryce Terang's the guy. You got to be willing to deal, though. You got to be willing to spend a little bit more. I don't know if the Rangers have the capital. I really don't. C.J. Abrams will cost Walcott. Don't you think? Well, I don't know what Terang's contract is like. That's the next thing I probably need to look up. Let's see what the Spotrac says for Terang. How many more years of control do you have for Terang? So he is an unrestricted free agent in 2030. That actually, I mean, look, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for him. Terang is club control for 3.5 more years before he's an unrestricted. You're probably having to give up Walcott for Terang, in all honesty, which I'd probably be willing to do. I know that that's sacrilegious to some Rangers fans, but look, I don't think Rangers are going to be able to get Alvarez in division. I don't think Strohs will do that. But I do think if you're going to be going to get Bryce Terang, you're probably giving up Walcott. I would do it. I like the prospect Walcott, but the idea that he's definitely going to be an all-star and going to be one of the elite players in the game, it's really hard to say. I mean, look, I always go back to what Cody Freeman said when he sat down with me. We did about an hour long, and he just said, you really can't genuinely, truly trust everything that you see on prospect lists. Walcott does have a lot to like, but I want to apply that logic. It's just like you never know. A guy who's not on the top 30 Rangers prospect list right now could pop and turn into an all-star. Just like a guy at the top of the top 30 list might never pan out. So I'd totally be willing to trade Walcott to get Bryce Terang for 3.5 years. But I don't know if the Rangers are going to be willing to do it or not. That's 2 of your top 10 prospects. Yeah, I would be willing to do it for 3.5 years of Bryce Terang. I would trade Walcott. I'd trade another top 10 if you can get 3.5 years of control with Bryce Terang, a very good second baseman. You need a second baseman. I love Zeke Duran and what he's doing. You can still play Duran. You need a second baseman. Unless you're really dead set that Walcott is going to be your second baseman next year. I don't think Corey Seager's moving off shortstop in 27. Could be totally wrong. I think that that's still a few more years away, 2 or 3. I think unless you're dead set Walcott is second baseman next year, I think you would be wise to try and see if you can upgrade that second base position. You thought it was going to be Josh Smith. I don't really think at this point we're counting on Smitty to come back and be any kind of everyday guy with how well Duran's playing and with all the issues he's got, man. Meningitis. He's got a wrist issue. He's got a glute issue. I mean, this dude has got issues all over the place. I feel bad for him. I'm not saying that to kick him while he's down. Prayers up for the guy 100%. He's in the hospital right now from what I read. So I really do hope Josh Smith is going to make it through, going to pull through. I don't think it's life-threatening or anything like that, but clearly being in the hospital is not ideal and not good at all. So prayers up for the guy, sending positive thoughts his way, but I don't think he's going to come back and run himself into any kind of playing time, maybe sporadically here and there. For me, I think the Rangers would be wise. Upgrade second, upgrade first. Jerry, I'm with you on this. I do think first base is another spot. I think second base is probably a good spot to start. Berger, we'll see how he does, but I do think second base is a good place to start for sure. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Hey, let's go ahead and let's preview the game for tomorrow. There's not much to talk about for tonight. I could barely post during the game with how little the Rangers were doing, man. It's like you can't post any hits. There's one, and it's the Foscue hit, and they lost anyway, so it's like, who cares? I mean, look, you could probably post a Leiter edit. He pitched phenomenal. Jack Leiter, I mean, look, this is probably one of the best starts of his career. I mean, if we're being honest, isn't this one of the best starts of Jack Leiter's career? Like, I know it doesn't really feel like that should be a topic after a night like tonight, but I'm finding a hard time. On the road, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 6K. Did have 3 walks. That's not great. But nevertheless, 1 earned run on the road against a rival. He probably does have a couple of starts better than this one, but not many. Probably a top 5 start for him. I'll go back and I'll look at it. Maybe I'll try and look through his game logs after I get off the live tonight, but I would be hard-pressed to think you can find, 4 better starts than this one. Maybe 2 or 3. Probably one of the best starts of Jack Leiter's career wasted. Sadly. Very sadly. We keep rolling. Let's go to box score and just double, triple check here. Yeah, Zeke Duran, 3 Ks, not ideal, especially that last one. Cole Winn, 5 ERA. I think Cole is probably going to be turning into a little bit of an innings eater. I'm not so sure that they can continue to run him out in leverage spots at this point. I think you got to go Cole Winn, innings eater at this point. That to me feels right. I think Cole does have potential. I'm not saying he has to get banished there forever, but look, 5+ ERA in his last 7, and the ERA for the season is now up to an even 5. Yeah, it might be time. Let's see what else we got for tomorrow, though, y'all. I'm going to dig into that matchup. So as of right now, DeGrom versus Tang. Tang has a 3.12 ERA. He has faced Brandon Nimmo, and Nimmo is 0 for 1 against him. That's it. He is right-handed, so you're going to see the Rangers employ probably their strongest lineup. You have, on the other side, DeGrom against Houston. Allen 0 for 2. Altuve probably not going to be playing right because of the injury. 231 average. Yordan is 2 for 3 with a bomb. So got to keep your eye on Yordan Alvarez. That was going to happen anyways. We've got Cole 0 for 2. DeZenzo 1 for 2. Matthews 0 for 2. Paredes 0 for 7. Smith 0 for 3. Vasquez 2 for 7. Christian Walker 1 for 18 with a home run. So DeGrom has really taken care of the Astros for the most part in his career. DeGrom coming off a gem of an outing last time out. I'm sure you remember against the Cubs, 7 innings, 3 hits, 10 Ks. Best start of DeGrom's season in 2026. So you hope that he can continue that performance and let that ride into this game against Houston. Texas needs a little pick-me-up. Nobody better than Jacob DeGrom to have on the bump in a game after one like tonight. Nobody better. And then Evo, hopefully on Sunday. Evo's thrown, and he feels pretty good. I don't think they made a formal announcement on it yet, but I think we can anticipate Nathan Eovaldi's probably taking the game ball on Sunday. And look, beyond that, let's do our wrap-up around the league, see what's going on, and then we'll check the standings, and then we are going to sign off for the night. It's been a show. Rangers, not much to talk about tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully tomorrow we will be live under much better circumstances. So around the league, the Mariners are losing currently to the Padres 1-0. That's going on in Seattle. It's bottom of the 6th inning. Again, Pods up 1-0. That would be nice to see San Diego beat up on Seattle a little bit this weekend. Angels are losing 4-0 in the I-10 series to the Dodgers. And the A's are losing 2-1. So look, beyond the Astros winning, this could be a fortuitous night in the AL West. You've got every team in the AL West currently losing. So if you're up late tonight, keep your eye on some of those other teams. Right now, the Rangers 1.5 games out. If the A's lose and if the Mariners lose, you would see them go back to 1 game out of first place. Astros are now 4 games behind Texas. The Angels are still 5 games behind Texas. That would decrease or increase to 5.5 games. if they were to lose tonight. So look, potentially not a totally terrible night if you can get some of these other AL West teams losing. You would have loved to have gained ground on the A's. You could have potentially, maybe been in a first place spot or tied for one had you won tonight and the A's lose. Wasn't meant to be. Everybody's doing a little rivalry today, huh? San Diego, Seattle's not really a rivalry, but you got the A's and the Giants. You got the Angels and the Dodgers. It's kind of fun. Well, it has been a Friday night show. I'm going to check comments one more time, and we will be off. When is it time to hit the panic button and add a few bats? The Rangers got to add bats. Hopefully they do it at some point over the next month or two. I think you got to keep your head above water heading up to the trade deadline. But Wyatt Langford coming back and getting the good version of Wyatt is going to be big. But even if they get a 30-30 version of Wyatt, I still think you go out of bat. The Rangers badly need to improve the right side of the infield, regardless of what kind of heater Berger goes on or what kind of heater Zeke is currently on. Don't just rely on that. Be proactive. Go get you a legitimate second baseman. You can always throw Zeke around wherever you want. He can spell people. You can give people days off. Zeke can fit in anywhere. I would like to see the Rangers take a proactive approach at the deadline. That is for sure. This offense, Richard. This offense. Phew. The Cal Raleigh comp, by the way, wouldn't be a show without one. Would not be a show without one. Cal, man, I feel bad for the guy. He is not doing well so far this season. He has not had a good 2026. I think he finally broke out of it a little bit the other night, but yeah, he has not had a great 26. That is for sure. We don't have the farm to trade for multiple bats. Either guys get good or they're selling. I would probably push back on that a little bit. You could trade Walcott and get a legitimate bat. A lot of fans don't want to trade Walcott, but if you're willing to trade him, I think you could get an all-star type bat for him. 2 bats, maybe not, but I still think you could at least upgrade one. One might be enough if the pitching continues to be elite and above average. If the pitching comes back down to earth and the defense continues to be a little questionable, I do worry that 1 bat might not be enough. I do think that the Rangers can win the next 2. That is the glass half full. You've got Evo, you got DeGrom pitching tomorrow, and you've got the Astros with not great pitching lined up Saturday, Sunday. I have some confidence the Rangers still pull this one off, but always hurts when you drop the first game. Yeah, you just got to be perfect the rest of the way to win the series, right? Rangers can do it, but this was not a great way to start, getting shut out 2-0 here. Does feel a little bit like the 1-0 loss on Monday. The last couple of innings, I think, really grind on you with the mental mistakes. Bosque getting picked off. Higgy not really doing anything with that ball he's not able to get to and glove on the Christian Walker strikeout. Probably could have backpicked Yordan Alvarez. And then you've got Zeke Duran not challenging a very bad strike 3 call with 2 challenges remaining. There were just some mental lapses at the end. Just make you feel worse about it. I do think 2 bats would be enough. Let's say theoretically you can get 2 Bryce Terangs on the team. I think 2 more Bryce Terangs would be very helpful for this lineup. Look, would it mean World Series? I don't want to go there, but I do think playoff team for sure. If you could add 2 Bryce Terangs to this team, for sure. I don't think, again, World Series, no doubt, go throw your house mortgage payment on it. But I do think that the Rangers would improve drastically with 2 above average bats and Wyatt Langford coming back and living up to the potential, maybe not 30-30, but just being a 20-20 guy would go a long way. All right, y'all. Hey, hope you have a great rest of your Friday night. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Appreciate all the people that have followed on the show. And I know a couple of people gave gifts along the way as well. Not needed, but much appreciated. Wish I could be talking to y'all under better circumstances, but you know what? That is a part of the charm of Right on Rangers. We are here pretty much every night, rain or shine, talking Rangers baseball. And I appreciate there are a lot of y'all with the same mindset, with the same passion and love for this team, man. They kill us sometimes, but you know what? We get the high highs like we had on Wednesday night, walking off the Diamondbacks. You get the low lows on night like tonight, unfortunately, every once in a while. We'll be back tomorrow, though, and I'll have a video out for y'all probably sometime during the early afternoon. Didn't even look at the game time for tomorrow. Let me try and check that out real quick. Looks like for tomorrow's game, we have, is it late afternoon or is it early afternoon? What are we doing? Oh, we're going evening tomorrow night. Okay, we're going 6:10 start time tomorrow night. All right, then. All right, then. 6:10 start time, Texas time, that is. We'll be back probably 7th, 8th inning once again. Hope you can join us. If not, catch us on the replay. Everything that we do, TikTok for you guys especially, all the live shows that I do, post right to YouTube. So if you ever miss a show, follow me over on YouTube, subscribe to my channel over there, and you can rewatch every live show. If you ever miss one, you can watch it podcast style on your way to work, whatever, in your free time. You always catch up that way. Appreciate all you guys. We'll have a good rest of the Friday night, hopefully. Good therapy session. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully talking about a Rangers win. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.